Hi, so in this video I want to show you a different agentic tool. Instead of Claude Code, I want to show you OpenCode. And so again, we're going to use this really simple database to kind of just explore with this tool. And we're going to boot it up here off of the Codespace of the repo, the AI Agentic Tools repo. And so just go here and say create Codespace on main. And so this tool is really great because it works for a lot of different situations. And if you don't have a Claude Code Pro subscription, then this is going to be the one that you probably wind up using. Also, the formatting for this is just very clean, so it's very nice the way it works. So I'm going to make this window bigger, and I'm going to increase the size of the font by hitting Command plus. And then we don't need this stuff over here today, so we're going to do that. And then I'm going to go and change the theme. So I'm just going to get one of the dark ones. Okay. I guess that one's all right. And so over here you can do ls again if you want to, and you can see where you are. So those are two commands. ls shows you what's in the folder. pwd shows you which folder you're in. And so if you want to start this open code, what you're going to do is dot and then forward slash and then type permissions and then type opencode.sh. So the way to get that with the tab completion is to type dot and then start typing, hit tab, and then you know this part's going to be open code, so tab that, and then hit return. And so this is going to boot up the OpenCode agentic tool, and it's got to build some database here or something. And so, okay, so here it is, and it's already kind of logged into GitHub Copilot. My subscription, it's found my GitHub subscription to Copilot, and the reason that is because we're actually logged into GitHub behind the scenes here. And so if you were already logged into GitHub, then it'll show up here. And it recognizes your Copilot subscription. You could change to another way of logging in. If you go to models, you'll see the different models here. And so right now it's showing us as being logged into this one, GitHub Copilot, and these are the models that you can choose for that one. You probably won't see all of these models, but you'll see some of them because you're on the student account, and mine is, I think, called a pro account or something like that. And then there's always the free models up here, which sometimes you might use as well too. The problem with some of the free ones is that they tend to be rate limited, and sometimes they're kind of restricted on how fast they can kind of run them. But so I'm going to pick Haiku 4.5. It's a really great GitHub Copilot model to use. If you don't have access to the sonnets and the opuses, I would say Sonnet is a default one if you got it, and especially if you have a subscription that supports it, you always use one of the sonnets. But Haiku is a great model as well, so I'm going to pick that. I think this is like how much thinking it will do. I don't know, let's just give it a medium amount of thinking, I think. And then let's just ask it some questions about the Dolt database MCP. I can see that some MCP is installed down here. So let's see, I think it probably is the Dolt one. Let's do /MCP. And you can see, yeah, the Dolt MCP is connected. All right, so let's go back. Can you give me the tables in the Dolt DB, which is called Calvin W Books. It's the books database, and under my account, and it's in the main branch. So if you go over here to Dolt Hub, you see that Calvin Books is the books database. This is under my username. So the databases on Dolt are identified by username, name of database, and then the branch they're on. So here we are on the main branch, and this is what this database looks like. So we've seen this before. I've used it in some of the other videos. So okay, so back over here. So let's just see if it can explain this stuff to me. So the way this tool works is very clean. and very minimal the way it's set up here. The uh, the look of it is very nice as well too. It puts up this little side window over here that keeps track of a few things, which is, you can close that if you want to, and I think I am going to do that. And I'm actually going to look at the different themes as well too while we're in here. So you can go through and pick some of the themes. There's some really great ones. Oh, there's a really orangey one. Let's see, where's that really orangey one? Yeah, here it is right here. So we'll use that one for a while. And then let's see if we can hide that sidebar. So if you do Control P, you can go and hide the sidebar right there. And now you've got a little more space to work with. So yes, can you tell me about that table? Okay. Right, so here it is, and it's telling me there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Let's go look at them. So here they are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the way you describe a database is you say what columns it has, because each of the columns has one data type in it. This is like, you know, integer over here. This is integer, but these two are strings or text, and this is text over here. So let's see how it gives me that. Whoops. Oh boy. Yeah. So here's the ID. It's an integer, and then varchar is the way that you describe strings, and then integer for that one there. Okay, so yeah, so can you give me the first 10 rows in the database table? So this is called a table. There's just one table in this database. So there it is. Good. Okay. Can you give me the last 10 rows in the database? Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Now you can turn the thinking on here. For some reason the thinking is off. I don't know. Actually, maybe it's not thinking. Let me see if I can. Thinking. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is not really thinking, this model, because I don't see any little thinking parts to it, right? So even though we have the medium thinking turned on, I don't know that it's doing any thinking. So the model, if it was thinking, you would see it printing out there, and then you might have to shut the thinking off. So it looks like it just goes up to G, which is, I think we saw this before. So can you, let's see, can you give me the books that start with L? Let's see if there are any. Might not be any, actually. Let's see. There are no books that start with L. Okay, how about, let's go back up arrow, back up arrow. How about M? Let's try M. All the books that start with M. Tell me there are some. Come on. Oh, there are some. Okay, maybe it's just lying. Okay, how about B? You want to see if there's any B? All right. There are no books with B. Oh, there's a lot of B. Okay, so, all right, so can you tell me which authors have the most books? Okay, so some authors are going to have more than one book. Great. Okay, some have 6. There's 2 with 6. Can you tell me how many fiction versus non-fiction they have? Okay, that's a little more difficult because it has to actually look at the field that tells me whether it's fiction or non-fiction. Oh, okay, so it told me all together. So I meant for those 2 authors. I meant for those 2 authors. Okay. Right, okay, so there's that query right there. Okay, and you can actually take the query, you can see what it's doing here, and take it over and kind of run it on Dolt Hub. And so you have to figure out how to copy and paste this stuff right here, which I, for some reason, can't quite do sometimes. So I'm trying to figure out how to fix that. But that's the idea, basically. You run OpenCode. So let's get out of here. I'm going to show you one more thing. Let's go back to models. And you can try and run these free models here. Let's try Quinn. This one I think might be getting really popular, so it might kind of time out here. So can you show me all the authors whose name ends or name starts with S for the last name, something like that. Let's just see if it's rate limited because it's a free model. So there it goes. This one's called Quinn. Yeah, so it's having trouble calling this, maybe because the free model is very busy. But I didn't see any error messages at all. So those are the S's. Can you do the same for R? Let's see how many R authors that end with R. Just 2. J.K. Rowling. Okay, so that's it. In the next video, I'll show Copilot.